the Young, and the Restless spoilers. The tale of Harrison's disappearance had been brewing beneath the surface for quite some time, a lingering dread that cast a shadow over the lives of those involved. Now, as if fate had been waiting for the right moment, the tragedy unfolded mere days after their arrival in the new town. The catalyst for this heart-wrenching event was Claire, whose momentary lapse in vigilance led to the unthinkable, the disappearance of Kyle's beloved son, Harrison. Claire was devastated by the incident, consumed by guilt and sorrow. She had been entrusted with Harrison's care, and the weight of her failure was almost unbearable. Kyle, on the other hand, despite his own anguish, took on the role of the consoling force. He repeatedly reassured Claire, his voice a steady beacon of hope in the storm of emotions that threatened to overwhelm them. "We'll find him, Claire," he would say, his eyes betraying the fear he tried so hard to conceal. "It's not your fault. We just need to stay strong and keep searching." News of Harrison's disappearance spread quickly, and panic set in among their friends and family. In the midst of this chaos, Summer received the news. Without a moment's hesitation, she booked the next flight to Paris, her mind already formulating a plan. Summer had always been a force to be reckoned with, and now she saw an opportunity to rid herself of Claire once and for all. She arrived in Paris with a singular purpose, to confront Claire and ensure she never again took on the role of Harrison's caretaker. The confrontation was inevitable. Summer stormed into the apartment, her eyes blazing with anger and determination. "This is your fault, Claire," she shouted, her voice echoing through the room. "You lost him. How could you be so careless?" Claire, tears streaming down her face, could barely muster a response. I'm so sorry, Summer. I didn't mean for this to happen." But Summer was relentless. "Sorry isn't good enough. You should never have been trusted with Harrison's care. You need to leave. Now." Amidst the turmoil, a darker suspicion began to take root. Whispers and doubts emerged, suggesting that Summer herself might be behind Harrison's disappearance. The theory was both shocking and plausible. What if Summer had orchestrated the kidnapping to force Claire out of the picture? What if she had taken Harrison and was keeping him hidden, manipulating the situation to her advantage? As the search for Harrison intensified, Kyle's desperation grew. The weight of his responsibility to his son bore down on him, clouding his judgment. Summer, always quick to exploit a weakness, saw her chance. She approached Kyle with a proposition. "Sign the guardianship papers, Kyle," she urged. "Give me custody of Harrison. I promise I will do everything in my power to bring him back." Kyle hesitated, torn between his love for his son and the gnawing suspicion that something was amiss. But as days turned into nights and the trail grew colder, he found himself with no other choice. "All right," he said finally, his voice heavy with resignation. "I'll sign the papers. Just bring my son back to me." Summer's plan seemed to be falling into place. With guardianship secured, she had the leverage she needed to control the situation. But even as she manipulated those around her, doubts began to creep into her mind. Had she gone too far? Would Kyle ever forgive her if he discovered the truth? As for Harrison, the young boy was indeed in hiding, but not entirely against his will. Summer had convinced him that this was a game, a temporary adventure to keep him safe from harm. Harrison, trusting his mother implicitly, went along with the plan, unaware of the turmoil his absence was causing. The days turned into weeks, and the search continued. Kyle, driven by an unyielding determination, never gave up hope. Claire, despite her own pain, remained by his side, offering support and solace. The bond between them grew stronger, forged in the crucible of their shared ordeal. Meanwhile, Summer found herself ensnared in her own web of deceit. The pressure mounted as investigators closed in, piecing together the clues that pointed to her involvement. The facade she had so carefully constructed began to crumble, revealing the true extent of her manipulations. In a final, desperate move, Summer decided to come clean. She arranged a meeting with Kyle, hoping to explain her actions and plead for his forgiveness. "Kyle," she began, her voice trembling with emotion. "I did what I thought was best for Harrison. I never meant to hurt you." Kyle listened in silence, his eyes searching Summer's face for any sign of the woman he had once loved. "You betrayed my trust, Summer," he said finally. "You took our son and used him as a pawn in your game. How can I ever forgive that?"